with something a little bit different today. So what is like a studio guitar? What defines a studio guitar? For me, it's kind of like, it's a guitar that you can't live with as a full-time instrument, but you can't live without. Like, so this, for example, right, as you know, I love to do, my chugging, my Metallica sort of, Oh, oops. And as you know, it's like not, a Telecaster is not the tool for the job for that. But I can't live without the blues sounds and, the crazy, clean sounds that I adore from a Telecaster. My favourite clean sounds come from a Telecaster, absolutely. Especially in the two pickup setting. Now this is an unusual Telecaster. In that it's a sort of Strat hybrid, to be honest. The way that it's set up in its present mode is very much like halfway to a Strat. Which makes it very unique, and it's staying this way until I get another Telecaster to put these pickups in. I've told the story before elsewhere on the channel. This is a Strat, pickup, a stacked coil, and it's been, made. Someone with tin snips, made a copper plate and that, the triangle plate and all that. So, and it's got and it's not a bad idea to make this a hybrid, because it's got the cutaway, it's much more rounded than a Telecaster. It's, and so we put the Strat neck on it. So it's interesting, but it has that Strat pickup. It does give it a different sound to a normal Tele. Dare I say that it's got that slightly more sophisticated sound that a Strat has over a Tele, but it still has, because of the Tele bridge, that crazy crispness, that golden ring. Anyway, so a studio guitar is a guitar that isn't your main guitar. It's not the guitar that you use live. So it's not a guitar you could live with full time, but it's a guitar you can't live without when you're recording sounds. It's much like a session guitarist. But there's a difference. A session guitarist has to make... session guitarists like to get a lot in a little. In a studio, you get a lot. You want a lot with a lot. Why have one guitar that does 5 sounds well when you can have 5 guitars that do the sound excellently? It's a session player would like that. Coil tappable Paul Reed Smith guitar that can do everything, whereas in the studio, that's well and good, but better to have the pure and the real thing. So I don't want something that pretends to be a Les Paul type guitar. I want a Les Paul type guitar, a Les Paul, if you will. But too heavy, too fragile, not something I would live with, although I have done and could do, but I want very specific things. So my stage guitar, the only guitar really that you could just get off the shelf anywhere, any Strat with a humbucker in the bridge. Okay, that's a guitar I could use on the stage. I use the LTD F-types, and they're set up with a humbucker at the bridge and a single coil at the neck. But studio guitars are different, and you get them specifically. So I'll tell you a perfect example of a studio guitar. This. Okay, now this is a solid top, and so this was some posh little school kid. But I get half size and 3/4 size guitars as treble guitars, and so this is tuned to A. Okay, this string is A, I think so, or is it G? Yeah, it's tuned to A. Well, A flat. Okay. So when I play an E minor shape on this guitar, it's actually an A minor. So as well as being a treble guitar, you get those different chord shapes, the dynamics of chord shapes. So the dynamic of playing like a G, right? You get all that dynamic like you would, but it's higher. Now it's a C, but it sounds very different to playing a C chord on a normal scale length tuned guitar. Do you see what I mean? So that's a perfect example of a studio guitar. You know, a few overdubs with this in the right place, and you can make a world of difference. You can really make something pop, you know, and it's really about overdubs. We're talking about overdubs here, but it's like at its most basic, right? The studio guitar, it's like, okay, I use the telly that was just in my hands to do the clean intro part, and then I use the fucking Les Paul here to do the heavy metal stuff. But let's get rid of the reverb. And I guess let's have a little of what I have been working on, because I haven't been here much. I suffered a terrible bereavement, and I just haven't, with all what's going on, it's difficult to focus on the smaller things, and while I've been in here playing my ass off a lot, I haven't really felt like doing videos, because it just feels fucking trivial. And anyway, I'm going to do that again because the volumes are so out of whack. And they still are. One more time, because like this is the studio. Stop, right, boom, and right, one more time. So there you have it. That like, there's a lot more to that. I just give you a quick skim. It's like an 8-minute piece, I think. I don't know, but it's what I've been working on, and that's that. Other news. I mean, I guess I might have something interesting lined up. Something even Mad Malco would be interested in, because it's Japanese. And it'll mean like tightening the belt again at the worst possible time when I'm already tight, but fuck it, you know. The only way to react to being skint is to do splurgy things when you can, and it's like, the only thing that will stop me from feeling poor is getting hold of the little morsel that I've got maybe lined up in the wind in the pipe. We'll see. I've been after a Strat. And I actually kind of asked the Fate lines. I kind of said, you know, I'd like a little red Encore Strat. You know, that's what I'm kind of fishing for. And in my search for that, something's kind of cropped up. Well, you know, we'll see. Who knows? I might actually end up with a red Encore Strat. There's a story, and if the story ends up worth telling, I'll tell you. But yeah, so for doing the heavy stuff, I've mainly been using the Golden Goose, the Bloody V, and the Les Paul that I just had, and that's great. Now and then going through, there's another track that I'm working on that's kind of ba-dunk, 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 and not so chuggy, but heavy, and I'm actually using the Telecaster. I decided to go for a single coil, but peace. So, can you guess the rig that I've been using tonight? Well, you did see it, so I'll show you. I am on the Vox for the delay sound. The Marshall Governor going into the Marshall amp, and that lovely like reverb that you heard at the beginning is from the little Marshall amp. So a cracking sound. I've been really enjoying the sound. I think it's like, well, it was the sound I wanted. I was going through all the sounds here in the studio, and I arrived at that sort of Marshall sound, and I've been on it for about 4 or 5 days. I've really just been stuck on it. But yeah, not much to say. I didn't do the gig that you saw last time, the rehearsal for. It was an open mic night, and I didn't do it because I had visitors from Chichester, and they're my first visitors since the whole lockdown thing, and it was like very meaningful and very needed at the time, and I can, to be honest, it completely went out of my head. It wasn't until my girlfriend said, "Oh, are you guys going to go to Tim's gig tonight?" I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I've got the gig." And then I forgot about it again, and it was like, you know, they're not really drinkers, so it's like I didn't really want to go down the pub, and it was just rather the chill time with, you know, real buddies. And I will do the open mic though, like it's a thing I can do again. So nothing, you didn't miss anything there, I'm afraid, but yeah, I've got plenty of other things to say, but I can't really be bothered in a minute. But I kind of like you know, you friends that I've met here, you do kind of creep into my thoughts, and I don't want to, like, you know, you're the only reason I don't just burn this channel. I swear, you are the only reason I don't just burn this channel. Because, like, people infuriate me. People get so passionate about stuff they know nothing about. Putting silly flags on the fucking profile pictures, and, you know, supporting, like, ambitious egotists over like, you know, authoritarian dictators that are portrayed in the media as Hitler. I mean, it's just like, you know, like when two brothers fight, and one says, "Spiedali de hoju," and the other one says, "Jeduvo kosmos for frakja nasta mopedia." And you don't know what the fuck they're on about. And they're brothers. You're an outsider. And it's like, short of stopping them from absolutely killing each other, you should stay the fuck out of it. And unless you know the situation in and out, you should probably be quiet, comment less, and read more. I've tried to get a grasp on affairs, and I was actually a little bit ahead of the curve reading. Oh, it's in my bag, but reading the history of the Black Sea. And I don't know fuck all about it. You know, and I'm an amateur historian, and I've done a deep dive, you know, in the last sort of few weeks, like, and I had a rudimentary understanding, and I can't tell you nothing, you know. It's not what it appears in the news, I'll tell you that much, and I tell you what, don't get frightened by it, don't let it worry you, and don't get het up by it, don't get passionate about it. Please, I'm begging you, don't get passionate about it. View it with a detachment, and if it really bothers you so much, learn about it, and not from the news, not from watching 24 hours of news. Go to the books, not the internet. Go to the books. I know this sounds dreadfully patronising, but, well, you know, you can use the internet. There's nothing wrong with using the internet, but, you know, get your histories. Understand what the Ukraine is to Russia. You know, understand what it all means, and you know, arm yourself for a judgment. If you're so passionate to have such a judgment, back it up. That's all I ask, really. Because, of course, you know, we are very lucky, and it's easy for me to pontificate in the safety of my little room, a million miles away from a war. I don't know. I didn't really want to get into all that, but you know, just don't let it ruin you, because it's like, you know, these fuckers, you know, it's like that I'm into F1, as some of you know, and it's like, you know, we're not racing in Sochi, you know, and the Russian driver's gone, but like we were perfectly fucking happy to race in Indianapolis, you know, when another like superpower was running amok outside of UN mandate and invading a sovereign nation. And many of us protested that. But it's very difficult for me to listen to these same people, you know, get on such a moral high horse. It just frustrates me. Anyway, I'm bound to have, like, lost half of you from that. And I do apologise, and I certainly don't mean anything by it. It's just the hysteria, even some people close to me, the hysteria levels bother me. They are not helpful to the situation. The hysteria is not helpful. What is needed in times like this is consideration and tolerance to all, to both sides. Tolerance, because I feel very sorry for my Ukrainian friends who have studios like this that are fucking turfed out of it and running across half of fucking Europe to safety. God forbid, poor bastards. But I've got Russian friends that are now the devil, and like they don't want none of it, and they are exactly like you and I were when we were invading Iraq. So just be tolerant, and don't let it get you. And if it bothers you, learn. Go right to the roots. Go to Kiev and Rus. Go to whoever you need to go to and learn the fundamentals. And I'm going to leave it at that, because pontificating bothers me more than any of this. You know, studio guitars. Guitars you can't live with and can't live without. Love you very much.